Nature is always the constant that brings you back to your basics. It makes you realize what's important in life.
Trees are extremely important to our species and to the world. They provide food, building materials. They provide habitat for wildlife. They're absorbing carbon dioxide. They're using that to create plant tissues and grow bigger and bigger.
Trees mark time in our life. We remember the tree that was out in the front yard of our house growing up, and the tree when I became an adult planted in my front yard for our children.
My name is Amy Sterndoffen. Since I had children, we've had our pictures photographed here for our Christmas card 3 different times as they've grown, and it's always centered around the tree. You just can't believe how long it's been here and how big it is that it mesmerizes you when you see it.
People have been in front of this tree for their holiday cards, for their engagements, for their weddings, and people who come here and enjoy this property in the summer enjoy the shade of that beautiful tree.
My name is Bob Murray. I had a great privilege of working on this property as the superintendent for the organization that owns the property for 25 years. The tree itself was really the anchor of the design landscape. This property belonged to the Stevens family, and they were one of the founding families of North Andover. It was passed from generation to generation, and it was at the turn of the 20th century that Helen Stevens and her husband John Gardner Coolidge took over the property and really turned it into a country estate where they could come on the summers to escape the heat of Boston. This was one of a series of ash that were planted around the estate, and it's the last one to survive at this point. The tree itself has sort of a magical quality to it. The trunk itself is probably 5 feet in diameter. The canopy probably 60 feet across. It has battle scars. You can see where it's lost its central leader probably over 100 years ago.
Well, I'm Sylvia Stevenson, and this is my husband, Jack. We've been neighbors of the Stevens-Coolidge estate since 1978.
We have a very strong connection to the ash tree, seeing that our children were 4 and 6 when we moved here. It was a great area to play, and our son reminded us just this morning what a great climbing tree it was.
You can't help it for a child, to bend down and try to look in and actually thinking they saw something. We actually, before the tree was taken down, we wrote a letter to the gnomes. We hear your tree is being taken down, and we'd love you to move up to our house on Wood Lane. With our children's names on it and our grandchildren's names on it and their husbands and wives. Our daughter got married here.
The ash tree was a magnet.
It's had some decline over the years. It's been propped up and patched together for quite a long time, and now it's finally becoming a hazard for people, and it's time to go. It's had a wonderful life here. Couldn't get a better place to grow up for 250 years. They've done test borings that shows that it's the whole center of the tree is missing, and that's really your structural integrity of a tree.
Well, it was sad to see the tree come down. It had lived really beyond our expectations. I feel like a eulogy is that, it had lived a long and full life and was loved by many.
We could see the rotten wood inside and how much little exterior wood was left on the tree to keep it whole and together. One of the main branches that we were concerned about actually broke under its own weight.
Wasn't it interesting that that one part they still had to get, that machine up there and pull it? It did not want to come down.
It's over 200 years, and in the morning, it's gone.
You think about its resilience, that it's lasted 200 years, seeing so many different storm elements.
Just like what we're going through now, I mean, you're going to weather the storm and it's going to be okay. I just think it represents life and how it stands the test of time.
30 years ago, planted a replacement tree, European Beech, beyond that. So it will have a similar form and character to it, and over time will sort of match that original presence that the ash tree had.
What many people want to know is, what are we going to do with the wood? That's a really good question, but it has a little bit of a problem with it. The ash trees, as many people know, have emerald ash borer. This tree did not, but it's in the area, and most often the wood would be destroyed. Our arborist felt he could save some of the wood and mill it and bring it back so we could make benches.
One aspect, as sort of stewards of the land, we have to think, the trustees own this property for everyone forever. So that's a big commitment, and to think about planting for the future, for future generations. I mean, there's an old saying, I'm sure you've heard it, the best time to plant a tree is 10 years ago, so time is of the essence.